Hello and good evening. Welcome to all the Toastmasters that are here. We have many district officers who are our past district directors. Today, we are having our past district director, DTM Seema Rani, who will be taking the session on how to conduct an effective moments of truth. Now, as we know, moments of truth in Toastmasters carry significant importance as it actually shows us the mirror on where we as Toastmasters and we as club members of this fraternity stand together. In normal terms, I call it Sach Ka Samna, basically, right? So today, our past district director, DTM Seema, who is also an agile coach and works with a corporate in Yeravada, right? MasterCard. And she is a dedicated Toastmaster since many years who has mentored multiple clubs, multiple members to gain excellence throughout their Toastmaster journey. And I would also say that even I have got multiple inputs from her, which has helped me in my leadership journey in Toastmasters and also beyond Toastmasters. So today, DTM Seema will be enlightening us with all her experiences on conducting effective MOT, that is, moments of truth. So, Seema, the floor is all yours and feel free.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rohan, for the kind introduction. I know a lot of things happen during the journey and we learn from each other. And I can, echo that for everyone on this forum that I have learned something from everyone who's on the call as well, whether that person is my club member, past district directors, past district officers, or the current officers. So we have the opportunity to learn from each other. Now coming to the session, MOT, as people usually call it, and then we have to explain what is MOT. The first step comes whenever a club officer get to hear the word and we go and say, oh, there is a MOT, you have to do MOT as well in your club every 6 months. And they say, what is MOT? Can you please explain? So my first request to everyone is stop calling it MOT. Let's start using the full word so that people understand from the first impression itself what is MOT. It should be called Moments of Truth. Now, most of you have done it or have attended at least one of the Moments of Truth in your club. I'm assuming, considering your role here in this forum. But I don't know just one person who is named as Sino, if I'm getting it right. If you can tell me your name and the club, then we can get started. And I would need this to be an interactive session to be effective moment of truth so that we can have conversation as well as move in the right direction, which is need of the session. So Sino, if you would like to unmute yourself and tell me your name and your club, please, if you're comfortable. Okay, let's see if he's able to or she's able to come back and introduce. All right, so as the name suggests, and Rohan already mentioned, Moments of Truth is all about facing the truth. Sach ka samna, he mentioned in Hindi. But why do we need Moment of Truth, or what is the other version have you ever used in your life? Maybe feel free to unmute, raise hand, or just go ahead one by one if you see nobody else is speaking. What is Moments of Truth for you at the club level? Anybody?
Reflection.
Reflection, yes. Any corporate term anybody would like to use? Nagesh?
Yeah, I think, yeah, again, I think I was going to say about the reflection on how we are doing and what are the areas that we could actually improve further for the next term or the going forward. What are the lessons that we take from the past and what's going well, what we continue to do, which is going well, and what are the areas that we can change and improve further.
Yes. And as in my introduction, Rohan mentioned, I'm an agile coach. So there is a similar terminology in agile, and I see Rishikesh smiling, is retrospection, right? And it's not just the club level. I think every member should that do the retro, in self-reflection, the self-retrospection, the club retrospection, their journey retrospection at some point of time, rather than waiting for a year or 2 years and realizing what I'm trying to do here. So retrospection is very important in everyone's life, personally, professionally, and in Toastmasters, just to understand where we are today and what we need to change or what we are doing good as well, not just always about criticism or feedback, but what are we good at, which we should continue, and what is that we need to change so that we can achieve our goals of the club and members' ambition. Now, remember, there is a district mission that we all are aware of, that we support. We open new clubs. I think we'll keep it aside. Support all clubs in achieving excellence. Now, a club can achieve excellence when it is meeting the needs of the members. Now, how the members' needs get met is the reflection that we will see here in Moments of Truth. Now, how frequently you should do it? You can do it as many times you want. There is no restriction. But at least if you do every 6 months, it gives you a direction that, okay, what have we done? Because if you do it every week or every month, things won't change that fast. But if you do at least a 6 months, that is a good frequency to have it, to see what have we changed. Let's say you change something in your club. It will take some time to people to get to know it, get habitual of it, and then start implementing it. So 6 months is a good frequency to do the Moments of Truth at your club. And why you need to do it at club level, so that club flourishes together. Club is reflecting how the club is doing rather than just the executive committee, the excom, or a single member. But you can take the cues from here and do your personal reflection of your Toastmasters journey as well. With that, what we will do is I'll just to get away the formality that how we do it, and then we'll go to the each section of it and understand why we are looking at those parameters and not something else. So anybody can tell me how many members of the club do you need when you conduct Moments of Truth at your club?
I think 50% of the members, total members, to have the quorum to execute the MOT.
Okay. Any different answers?
I think
So
2/3.
everyone, 2/3. Rajendra Singh, 2/3. Okay.
50% plus one. Maybe.
Okay. Fine. But what is the ideal number you should have?
100%.
Yes. And why
Ideally,
100%?
100%.
And why 100%?
Because you are taking the views of everyone. Everyone is contributing towards the areas of improvement or whatever, as well as what is going so well.
Yeah. Yeah. So to be very honest, I don't think there is a mandate or protocol that tells you that you need to have 50%, you need to have 2/3. However, it's ideal to have everyone attend. Tell members that what is the impact of having this exercise done, especially when members are not regular. It's important they are here and there is, their voice is heard, that what are they missing, what else they need in the club. And also the people who are actually participating and thriving the club, everyone should be part of it. And the more the member, the better the exercise would be, because we need to divide the group into 6 groups. There are 6 parameters. Now you will say everyone can mark everything. That also is a possibility. So you don't have to stick to as in my opinion, stick to that point that, okay, you have to divide into 6 groups, but that's good. Now, let's say, I'll take example of my club. My club has, let's say, 40 members currently. Now, if all 40 joins, you'll see the different opinions, the diverse opinion, everyone has different experience when they join the club, as a guest, as a member, as experience overall. Somebody's mentor is very active, somebody's mentor is not very active, somebody's getting better speech slots, somebody's not even getting that enough motivation. All of that differs from one person to another. So the more the members, the better the diverse inputs we will have to drive it in the right direction. So if I have a 40 members club, I would thrive to get as many members. If 40 comes, nothing like it. Actually, it should be 40 plus, because in some meetings, you'll definitely expect some guest. So I'm expecting 42 members to be part of this exercise. So the new guests who are part of the meeting, they also can participate, because there will be a section where they also contribute. So let me just give you the little formal part here, and then we'll get done with this so that we can move to the actual exercise as well. So whenever you want to do a moment of truth as a conductor of the exercise as well, if you're presenting this, then you ask everyone to get split into 6 groups. And now the tradition of dividing everyone to 6 groups is because there are 6 parameters overall where we do the assessment. That is first impression, new member orientation, fellowship, program planning, membership strength, and achievement and recognition. Because there are 6 segments and each segment has some points, sub points out there. So it's good to divide into 6 groups. So each group can discuss in detail about each parameter. Now, if you have, let's say, 40 members, it's problem of plenty, but each group can have 6 to 7 members. If you have only 20 members joining that exercise, you will have accordingly, right? You will divide that into 3 or 2 or 1 member. But if your club is really not doing so well and you need this exercise to be done to understand what you're doing good and where actually needs to improve, and maybe get ideas from the member itself who are still in the club, it's good idea to maybe have lesser groups. For example, if there are only 10 people in the room, so instead of dividing into one group with one person only, it is okay to divide into lesser number of groups also, so that they can discuss 2 parameters together. But if there are no people to give opinions other than that, or agree or disagree or suggest, it doesn't make that much of impact. So 6 groups is ideal, especially when you have more than 18 members in the room. But if it's less, let's say between 5 to 15, you can divide them into lesser groups also, so that you can divide more parameters into one group also. That's also fine. Now you will distribute what I will show you in a few minutes, the handouts to each group, and they can go through their parameters they have been given. And then you give them time to fill in that sheet, to give the points 1 to 5. And if any of the points is less than 3, then they can discuss what is that problem, what is the challenge they are facing to accomplish more than 3, and what are the ideas and way forward to fix it. Now I'll tell you the challenges gonna be again differ from one club to another. The idea is gonna be different. The reason is some of our clubs are community clubs and some are corporate clubs. So the things that may work in corporate club may not work in community, and the vice versa. Or if you have a college club, again, things may work differently, and we'll go into detail. But I'll take a pause here and see if everyone is comfortable with the participation groups and how to start the exercise. And then I'll go to the handout and explain how as a presenter you can explain, and how as an attendee, as a club member, you should understand each parameter and give the marking. Any questions so far? All right. So now let's go deep dive into the handout. That means the 6 groups. Now, if you see on the top, I hope it's readable enough. Yeah, okay. So if you see, you have to mark everything on the scale of 1 to 5, and it's given here that what is 1, what is 5. So 1 is we never met the standard. For example, convenient meeting location. Now it is subjective, that what is convenient for me may not be convenient for Uday. I'm coming 3 kilometers if I'm a community part of community club. Uday is coming from 10 kilometers. He doesn't have anything else. So he would say, I would give it maybe 2, and I will say it's 5 for me because it was a closer club. That's why I joined. In corporate, everyone can give it a 5, right? Because it always meets the standard. The meeting location is always convenient because it's within the premise. So it is subjective. However, as a group consensus, that what is the best they would average out it. 1 is never, 2 is rarely. Now for me, rarely is like once in a while, once in a 6 months, once in a year or something like that's rarely we meet it. Meet sometime is like out of 10 meetings, you do it 4 times, sometimes 5 times, like that. Or usually is 80 to 90% you do it, but sometimes it get missed. For example, how many times you start the meeting starts and ends on time. Now, usually we do it, let's say 90% we do it, but 1 or 2 meetings, we have the delays for whatever reason. The room is getting used by somebody else who need to vacate and we get in or something like that. But usually we meet it, and we always meet this 100%. That every single meeting start on time and ends on time, we will give 5. It should be like, oh, usually we do it, so let's give it a 5, right? But usually is a different parameter. So honestly, we have to fill in this. The more honest we are with the rating, the better chances we have to for improvement here and club to thrive and excel in the future. I'll take a pause. I see hand raised, Rajan.
So, who is the best person to facilitate this session?
Okay, so maybe the question I would have answered at the start. Anybody who understand how to facilitate a meeting and how to facilitate discussion with the knowledge of this parameters. Now, it could be even the past president of the club, the area director, the division director, past district director, anybody outside the district also. So anybody who has the knowledge of these parameters, because sometimes people will ask question that, oh, if you don't have guest book, what else? So they may ask you to give that answer. So you should have some knowledge about it. At the same time, you should be able to facilitate a discussion. For example, the people will get only 10 minutes and then they are presenting, they have to give 2 minutes. They have to give crisp answer. You should be able to make sure people are staying within that time slot because this exercise has to be done within a time slot given. But usually I have seen the past presidents or the area directors usually take this exercise within the groups that I have seen as a norm in the district so far, which is fine because they have seen the clubs, they know, or they can support with the challenges, or they can give ideas as well.
Thank you,
All
Seema.
right. Okay. So now let's go through each of one of these 6 parameters, and please feel free to raise hand or agree, disagree, questions, whatever may feel relevant. First impression. Why do you think we need to reflect on our club practices for first impression? And if you have nothing to say, can we request you to please go on mute? Thank you. So why do you think a club needs to check on their first impressions? Let me stop sharing. Anybody? Why first impression is important?
Because that will decide whether the guest is going to join us as a member or not.
Okay. Anything else, Uday?
I
Uday,
feel
you
the
have to
person,
you have to go unmute while I hear Swati. Swati, go ahead.
yeah, the person who joined the club, yeah, when he interacts, it's not the club, it's the members. And if
Hmm.
members are not welcoming, if I can't share my thoughts, if I can't open what is in my mind, then it's very much difficult. So the warmth and the greetings and the impression last long for any of the member, for any of the club.
Okay, great. Thank you, Swati. Uday, you need to unmute. Yeah. Oh, you got muted again. Okay, we'll come back to you, Mukta.
Yeah, I think the first impression is important because they get a good feeling, and when people are comfortable and have a good feeling, they feel like at least coming back a second time, even if not joining immediately, but they feel comfortable and they want to come back again and
Yeah.
again to get a
Great.
feel. So first
Yes.
impressions are important.
Absolutely. We have heard first impression is the last impression. Some people take that away. I have examples because I have seen people talking those on the fellowship tables that I went to 3 clubs before I decided which club to join. And as we all know, the Toastmasters Club has same format, right? You go to any club, they have same format. You will have speeches, you will have evaluation, you will have impromptu speaking. All of that is same. So why people will choose a one club over another club? It's the vibe of the club, right? First impression is the vibe, and that's the word. Whether it's AI, whether you want to do vibe coding or you want to just vibe with somebody in the club, that's the first impression. That how people feel the warmth. Like Mukta ma'am said and like Swati said, if you feel people are welcoming, people are open, people are listening to you, you will feel like, okay, if I join this club, I am in the right place to improve because these people will help me improve as well. So first impression is very important. And there are some certain parameters written. And of course, if you feel there are anything else that you want to do to make that first impression right, you can always use those ideas and add those points as well. So greeting the guests warmly and introducing them to the members and officers. Again, another misconception I've seen people while doing this rating is that, oh, it should be the SA who should do, the sergeant at arms who should always greet the guest and then do it. Of course, it's the part of responsibilities of sergeant at arms of the meeting or the club that to greet the members at the door or whatever rules that you have kept for the club, but it is every member's responsibility. If you are there and somebody else joined the room whom you have never met before, go ahead and say hi. Ask who you are, why, how you heard about this meeting, and if people are around, introduce them to your officers or other members around you. Also a good idea. So are the guests feeling warmly? If can you answer this question yourself? Like, let's say I'm a member of this club, my club for 5 years. Will I be able to give marks to this parameter? The answer is yes, because I once joined this club as a guest, right? So what was my impression that time? I can share that experience, but at the same time, we would have changed over time, right? I joined 5 years back, but the club has changed over time. Maybe when I joined, nobody was there to welcome me. Maybe the members were new, they did not know this. But now every member knew and they do the warm welcome. Sometime the guests joined after the meeting has started. Then what do we do about this point? How do we meet criteria for this? Talk to them during the break time. I'm sure everyone has that 5-10 minutes break. Shake hand with them, ask them their name, ask them all these questions, or just warmly welcome them and see if they're comfortable, or towards the end of the meeting, when the meeting is over, talk to them. Guest book and name tags provided. Again, I hear 90% of the moments of truth have gone. This is something, template come from Toastmasters International. But guest book is mostly common in most of the clubs, but in corporate clubs, guest book is more likely either an Excel sheet or something they ask them to sign, or they ask them to fill a form, because online maintenance is, easier for the corporate club compared to a community club where we have a guest book, official ones or unofficial ones, which they use it later on and make the contact with them. But name tags are not something which is usual in India, at least. I've not seen it here. Maybe in other countries we have name tags also written, where they'll say, oh, there is a tag, you can take it and keep it on your desk, because people would know you are a guest. Especially the table topic master, for example, they want to invite, they will know who are the guests, who are the members. So I have seen outside India, there is a meeting where they have tags of president, of excom, of members and guests. So people come in, they take the tag and sit on the table with the tag in front of them. But if it's not usual here, either you can be innovative and creative. So that could be your opportunity, saying, oh, should we give point fully or not? Maybe you can give separately or combine, saying, okay, let's give 3. We have opportunity to see how do we recognize who is a member and who is a guest also there. But it is up to the interpretation. And if you want to avoid any changes related to name tags, you can, ignore this and just focus on the guest book and give the points. I'll take a pause. I see hand raise. Muktama?
Yeah, so in Deccan Toastmasters for years, we've had white labels, sheets of stickers, and all guests get to put their name and put that sticker on their shirt. So first of all, it's very easy to identify that they are a guest. And
Yes.
like you said, a table topics master can call them, and they also feel important and recognize that they are a guest.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
we take care of them. Yeah, so we've been doing that for many years.
Great, great. So see, so if some clubs are doing it, we can give practices, we'll learn those. And if you are not doing, you don't want to do it because, let's say in the corporate club, we don't have the needs to use the tag clubs because we know the guests who are the guests, because our members are known to us. You can avoid it. But this is something you need to understand. This is required for what reason? Professionally arranged meeting rooms, again, you will understand, if the meeting room was set up, chairs were there, the agenda was distributed and all of that. So when a guest comes, that person should know how to stay in the meeting. The as Sergeant at Arms should be able to tell where to sit, where not to sit, or what is the arrangement that we have done. Convenient meeting location, we already discussed that. Guests invited to address the club. Now, some people ask me why they will address the club. They're just guests. So can somebody tell me what are the opportunities where you can have guests speaking in the club meeting other than the prepared speeches? Uday? I cannot hear you. Though you are unmuted, but I cannot hear you. Okay, anybody else meanwhile wants to tell me what are the opportunities? Yes.
They can introduce themselves. That is the first opportunity, and second opportunity would be in the table topics. Or
Okay.
the third opportunity could be giving the feedback about what they felt about the meeting.
Brilliant. So you cover all three. So there are three opportunities. One, at the start, either Sergeant or President asking each guest to introduce themselves and telling us their names or how they come to know about this meeting, or what is the purpose or anything that you decide to get in the introduction of the club meeting. Second, in table topics, we give opportunity to all the guests to come on stage and speak. And third is the feedback. If sometimes we divide, if there are too many guests, we say, okay, half give introduction, half give feedback, because we don't have time to get through everyone if there are more than 10 guests, especially. So, but if all can be given, all these three opportunities, and they give feedback towards the end during the president, presiding officer, to the moments of glory, asking for the feedback from the guest is a good practice. So are we doing this or not doing this? That's the parameter you need to evaluate this point on. And guests invited to join. That's very, very important. They come, they attend the meeting, they're happy with the first impression and everything, but nobody asks them, are you going to join, or when are you going to join? And they feel like, okay, maybe nobody's interested me, let me go and explore another club, right? So this is very important, that somebody, at least, by default, responsible person is VP membership. But if VP membership is not in the meeting, or somebody else should be going and attending to that person, either during the meeting or after the meeting. For example, in corporate, we contact them after the meeting as well, make sure they understand the format, they are committed to it, and then they join. So all of this is under first impression. Now let's say we will go briefly to others considering the time. Let's say I gave 4 here, 2 here, 5 here, 4 here, 3 and 5, something like this. Now, which are the 2 or 3 parameters, sub-parameters of first impression that I should discuss now more with this group, which I'm part of, to discuss a first impression? What could be the challenges and how to improve? Which parameters to pick from here?
Anything which has been marked less than 3?
Less than 3 or 3. So anything which is rated 3 or lower. So you will pick both guest book and name tags as well as guest invited to address the meeting. So anything which is sometimes, rarely, or never, all should be addressed. Usually if you do something that doesn't need to be addressed, always you do something that is always good to carry on. So anything which is 3 and below should be discussed and addressed. So what happens in the first segment, you'll divide into the groups, you give them this sheet, and you'll tell them each group that which main parameters they will be discussing for 10 minutes. Let's say my group, let's say I have 6 people, and we choose first impression. We give the marking. First of all, we discuss how frequent it happens. We give the marking or an average, and then we discuss the point which are 3 and less, and we are ready to present. So once the 10 minutes are over, we are ready with this. Where do we go and put the challenges? We put the challenge here. That, okay, what is the cause of the challenge? Let's say for the tags, we don't have tags, we never thought about it, or maybe the guest book is also not available, we use sheet which get lost every time. All of that is my challenge. And what is that can be done to address? Let's order a guest book, or let's make a form, or whatever ideas you guys want to take. So when the 10 minute is over and everyone has finished their parameters, the presenter or the person who is conducting the moments of truth for the club will call each group one by one. Each we can allocate 2 to 3 minutes depending on how long you have kept. 45 minutes is an ideal time, because 10 minutes you will take, and everyone, if take 5 minutes, you will take 30 minutes to present your part. But if you have less time, accordingly you divide how much time each group will get. Let's say my group got the chance, first impression, I go there, I show them that these are the points I have given. So first, once the points are being given, you ask the club, are you in agreement with this point? Because in the group, you have only 3 people. In the club, you have 30 people. So all the 30 people agree with these points. Somebody may say, oh, I don't agree. Why you have given 2? I think we have guest book. That person can respond saying, no, we have the guest book, but that's mostly not in the meeting. We take the sheet and then get lost. We don't get the data, etc., etc. So that deliberation can be done once you're giving the points, because these points are given by a group and not the entire member. So you give them the opportunity to either agree or disagree with these points. Once everyone is agreement, then you go ahead with the challenges that, okay, we have given 2 and this is the challenge and this is our suggestion. If everyone agrees, then this is the action you take ahead and try to implement at the club level. So similarly, every group will go ahead one by one. The second will talk about membership orientation, fellowship, membership strength and achievement. I'll take a pause because that covers at least the brief of how the moment of truth should be conducted, what all happens, and how it gets presented. We can go to the other parameters in a while. I'll stop here. Is there any question so far in terms of the format? How do we conduct and what happens during the moments of truth? Okay. If no questions, I'm assuming we are good. So we have 20 minutes now as per the agenda. So that means 5 parameters, little less than 5 minutes. So we'll go a little faster. But if you have any questions or point to make, please raise hand. Okay. So the second parameter is membership orientation. Now let's say a guest is very happy with the first impression, joins the club, but doesn't know how to register for the meeting, how to take roles in the meeting, or what is in it for him or her for the long term, for the journey. So they'll be a little lost. So that's where membership orientation comes into picture, where they understand the benefits they get out of this journey, how they get the best out of it by doing different things or different arrangements we have the club. So membership focus is very important, and that's where orientation come into picture. Okay. If, for example, it's written here, greatest benefit is the club must acquaint this new member with the education and recognition program, which means they should be taught about the pathways, how to select the pathways, how to choose the speaking roles or any role at the meeting, how they will get recognized, what are their responsibility in the club along with the other members and the EXCOM, and how they can fulfill those. Now, formal induction, including presentation of the membership pins and manuals. Now, again, it may seem a little daunting, it may not every club might be doing, but formal induction is very important, where you tell them what is Toastmasters, what all options are there, what are the benefits are there. We call it membership orientation also and induction also. And there is a nice 10 points auth, that they can take the promise they can make. And it's lovely that if you do the induction, the orientation with the PPT telling them all the benefits, and towards the end, you invite all the new members and taking that promise of 10 points so they remember. Sometimes they feel, okay, I'm lazy and I should not go to the meeting, and that they remember that promise. Oh, I gave that promise that I will attend all the meetings. I'll take the roles whenever my club needs and all of that. So have them take that promise and then give them either a pin or manuals or anything else that you have as a club ritual as a new member. For example, not every club has this ritual of giving membership pins, or now manuals are gone. Those are the old days. Now we have everything online. But some clubs have these ribbons, the welcome ribbon, or they have certificates, or may they give some small goodies, or they just introduce them to the club that these are the new members, please support them. So whatever standard you have kept, so see on basis of that, you can give the meeting. Assignment of mentors, very, very important. So this tells the club that assignment of mentor is so critical in anybody's Toastmasters journey. If I don't have a mentor, I need to figure out who else to ask about my speech next. If I'm taking a role for the first time, how do I play? I need to keep on checking either the EXCOM or the president, and then EXCOM feel overburdened, right? All the time that we have to keep answering, we have to keep supporting. So assign a mentor and assign a mentor as per the capacity. It should not happen. Oh, Seema is the old Toastmaster. Let's give 10 members to her as a mentee, and then somebody who's new, just give one. It's a good idea. But if everyone has, less number of mentors, they can pay more attention, more focus, and help in their journey. But somebody has to make we have to have this trend whenever new joiner happen, what happened when they join, who will assign the mentors. Usually VP education is a responsible, but you can divide into your EXCOM or in the club that how do we do this. Education program and recognition system. Now, this is simple, right? Pathways has a program. If you finish level 1, you get some ribbon or some recognition, and you can do it with the certificates. And what are the other recognition? For example, some clubs have this Toastmaster of the Year awards or quarterly awards, or some best meeting roles are there, best speaker is there, best auxiliary role player, meeting role player, main role player. All this is there. People should know about it. The member should know about it. Learnings need assess. This is something I feel gets the least attention. And I'll tell you why. When I joined as a member for the first time, long ago, about 12 years back, I don't think anybody asked me, except for the first meeting when I introduced myself as a guest. Oh, how did you come to know and why you're joining? I said, maybe I'm here to improve my speaking skills. But after that, nobody bothered to ask me what is my real need is. Do I want to do only communication? Do I want to do more speaking opportunity? Do I want to do something in leadership? Or is it something else? So leadership learning needs to be assessed that what is that person needs to learn, and then we can support from that perspective. Not everyone has to participate in contest, right? As a contestant, not everyone wants to be a district director. Not everyone wants to be a perfect speaker. People have different needs, and I think we need to understand that and help them grow in that journey. Then discuss accommodation of members with disability or any other, kind of needs. I know some clubs struggle with the timing, day and all of that. I think that also needs to be considered. Speaking roles assigned, how the speaking roles will be given. For example, everyone want to give a speech, but if we have a very good club, how will give speaking roles to everyone every meeting? So you need to understand, have they contact their mentor, then you start making rules. If we have less members in the club, then we need to, encourage and motivate people that, okay, in it also can be taken into a point in percept. You can also interpret it like, have people have the opportunity to pick up role every meeting, to pick up speech opportunity, the evaluation opportunity. Is that done? Or is it just only one person decide who will do what? So all of that you need to understand. Membership involved in all aspect of the club activities. It's not only EXCOM who knows about it, everything, and they do it every time. If the contest give opportunity to the members to do something different. If it's a club anniversary meeting, you different members on opportunity. I remember there was a time when there was a club, I think milestone meeting, and one of the exco members suggested, let's just give all the roles to the best of our club members. Like, who is the best speaker, let's give him the speaking opportunity. Who's the best TMOD ever done, let's give TMOD. And then there come a person said, I think instead of that, we need to give opportunity to new people, because these people have already done. The platform is to learn and not to impress anybody, right? So this is something you need to understand, that members are involved in all activity, and they will be involved only if they get the opportunity to it. So involvement is important. So how frequently are you doing? You need to rate it based on that. Fellowship, variety, and communication. I love fellowship. I think that's the best part of Toastmasters, and that's where the best connections happen. Fellowship is something that you do beyond the meeting, right? As well as during the meeting. So it's like, are you bringing that fun element? Are you bringing that collaboration view? Are people feeling even warmed during the meeting, not just at the start of the meeting? So guests greeted warmly and made welcome. You will say, oh, this point came into the first impression also, but I think it's important during the meeting also. Like we said, we have the opportunity to ask them, introduce themselves during the meeting, table topics and otherwise. Are they feeling, form well during the meeting as well? Enjoyable and education meeting plan. First meeting should be not always serious topic. If you're in corporate clubs, you cannot have all serious stuff happening. We already have lots of seriousness in our life, and education sessions are being done frequently, not once in a while or never done kind of situation. Social events, it could be CSR, it could be just after the meeting you do the fellowship, or your milestone meeting is special, doing something outside. uh, I'll tell you, I have done a couple of those. When I took president of the club for the first time, we went to the hills and we did the meeting there. We did plantation as well as we did with the meeting there. There was another time we did a CSR activity. We went to an NGO, we did the CSR, and we did a table topics after that activity. So we are doing social events, we are doing, help as well, and we are taking people out. It could be just lunch outside as well. So it could be any kind of social event, or it could be just fellowship outside the meeting. I know community clubs do that more often than corporate, but corporate also has the opportunity to do that. You can meet over lunch, snacks, tea, or whatever. I'll take a pause. I see a hand raised. Rishikesh?
Yes, thank you, Seema, for addressing these social events because we conduct milestone meeting at outside venue and we do have some joint meetings as well. But some of our guests and some of our members don't consider them as a social event. So they
Hmm.
have certain another idea of having a social event. So
Like,
that's why we get very less points in this particular
hmm.
section, and
Yeah.
it's difficult to convince member that this is a social event, and for community clubs it's a always problem.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
my
yeah.
suggestion would be whoever is conducting the moment of truth, that person can clarify this. Like, if people don't ask the question themselves, they're assuming the person can clarify. The social events include all of this. It includes CSR, it includes fellowship, includes meeting doing outside, or just having lunch with the team without any meeting. Right. So it could be anything that makes you feel social, collaborate, talk to each other in non-formal team meeting setting. That's it. Participating in area, district, and international events, very important. I see that's the least, parameter at the least point, especially from the corporate clubs, because these events happen over the weekends, and we are used to of doing meetings on the weekdays, and they are very hesitant to participate in the events on the weekend. So I think this is important that we share the experiences, the benefits of it, and then they start participating. So if you are, I'm sure most of the corporate clubs get less point here, and then they need to get this motivation and encouragement out there. Unless they're a contestant, usually I see less participation there. Also, district has this done beautifully that we could get area and division contest done at the corporate events, that also encourage people to come and attend, and they will see the value out of it. Inter-club events, now there is joint meeting, Rishikesh already mentioned, but other inter-club events also can happen. They can join each other's meeting, they can do combined CSR activities, social events, all of that should be encouraged. So people get support from each other, even education sessions. For example, if my club is conducting an education session, why can't I invite all the clubs in that vicinity or all the areas? If I'm doing it online, I can let my area director know, division director know that we are doing this, if anybody wants to join that. So it's not only joint meetings, it could be events where education sessions are done combined, because we have less people, we have less time, so we can utilize this kind of opportunities. And of course, club newsletter, website, and regular update. It could be anything and everything. Again, I know the community club have regular ways of doing newsletter, but not all are doing. Website may not be possible for every club. Now, for example, corporate club, this is two ways. One, they have the easiest way to have the website, but in some corporate is not even allowed. They cannot have their own website. Same goes for community club. It's very difficult for them to have their own website. So what is the best way? Use the social media for that matter, right? And the idea is to give updates to the club as well as outside the club, that how the club is doing. So that is important. For example, our club is less on social media because of the corporate constraint, but we have our internal website where everything is updated. I see a hand raise. Uday? Okay, we still cannot hear you. Okay, you need to fix your audio issue. We'll come back. Sorry. All right. So let's move on to the fourth parameter, program planning and meeting. Now, event plan well goes well, right? Half done. And if it is planned well, half of the work is done. So how are your meeting getting planned? How your agenda is getting prepared? How members have opportunity to pick up the role or speech slots or stuff like that? So first is program and agenda. So are you publicizing that, okay, these are the roles available, and then people know what is the agenda coming up for the meeting and not just getting to know it on the day of the meeting? Members know program responsibility and prepared. If I'm taken our counter for the first time, do I know what I need to do and how to do? So mentors comes into picture. At the same time, everyone can help each other. And you as a member, are you asking or people are not sharing? So based on that, people know what are they supposed to do when they come for the meeting, either for the first time or the 10th time. Projects are from Pathways, the education program we have, and have they gone through it? Have they prepared? We get to know whether feature speech is prepared from the project by reading the project, or just by the naming convention or vocal variety. Let's just show all the vocal variety in the world. But projects are from the Pathways, especially the speeches. And now we have the other roles also from the Pathways. So education sessions, the speaking slots, the evaluations, all of that is happening as per Pathways. Meeting begins and end on time. We discussed what at the start, right? If it, I think every single meeting is starting and end on time, then only give 5. Otherwise, it's 4. And if it's never happening, just give it 1 or 2, so that we can discuss how to do it on time. Creative table topics and activities. I think I have seen variety of table topic. People are, sometimes waiting for that segment to happen rather than getting scared. Oh, table topics, I should not be called, like they hide their face, their hands are clutched and all of that. But it should be actually creative. Sometimes you do debate, sometimes you do round robin, sometimes you do show a picture and ask them to guess the topic and speak, and sometimes it could be normal. So it could be as creative, as fun as you want. There is no set criteria that you cannot do a different activity. I see some clubs have good activities like they do both table topics and round robin. Some have this jokes master, word master, and other roles. They do different activities. Somebody is a listener and can ask any question towards the end of the meeting just to see whether you are listening or not. Positive and helpful evaluation. This is very important. How the members feel. Are they getting just the too strong or too critical feedback, or is always sugar coated and it's not helpful? So it has to be balanced, giving them positive as well as something which is helpful for them to improve, because we all are here to improve. So giving points as per actual happening in the meeting is going to help you improve. Membership strength. We know we need a club. When we charter a club, we need 20 members. So to continue to have a good and excellent club, I think you need to have 20 or more members, from my experience, because every meeting, if you do for 2 hours, whether it's weekly or bi-weekly, you need at least 13 to 15 role players itself. So if a club has only 15 members, how you'll have a good meeting? And we know 100% attendance is never there. So we need 20 or more. So if it doesn't have 20 members, what is the challenge? The membership campaign address, or guests are not feeling welcome, or there could be third challenge. So we need to understand why we have less members and how do we increase that. Are the members who are there for, let's say, more than a year, are they retained? Are they renewing? If they're not, do we know the reason? If yes, if the points are less, then we discuss why the attrition is high, why members are leaving. Talk to them, understand. Did they not feel welcome? Did they not feel supported? The orientation did not happen. They don't feel recognized. So we need to understand that. Promotion of the club in the community. If you're getting recognized in your club and outside, your poster is getting flaunted in social media, you will feel nice, continued. Variation, excitement, like table topic, you can have variety of the meeting, you can have some guest speakers coming, you can have education session, joint sessions, all of them will help you. Toastmasters sponsoring new members recognized. This is the most misunderstood parameter, especially in the new members. They feel sponsoring means paying their fee, which is not the case, guys. Here sponsoring means just letting them know there's something exists, and if somebody joins on my recommendation, I'm the sponsor for that person. And there is a segment in the membership form where say who is a sponsor. The sponsor could be my name then, and that person who sponsors more than 5 members, let's say I made 5 members join a club, whether mine or any other club, I get a nice membership sponsor pin of 5 members, 10 members. So this should be done and should be recognized in the club. Regularly membership building programs, whether it's a specific program, you have an open house, invite lots of guests, or you do some kind of campaigns at every meeting you have new guests coming in. For example, in a corporate club, you have opportunity to do at the induction, you can have posters around, you can have stand days. In our club, for example, we have this monitors where different news flashes. We have our Toastmasters campaign going on there like every day. We have standards which we put outside our meeting when your meeting is happening, or at the cafeteria, or we just, word of mouth is enough. My, teammate gets to know, "Oh, how are you so good?" I tell I joined Toastmasters. So just continue to have different kind of membership building. If the numbers are less, need to find out different ways. Finally, achievement. The applications are processed immediately. People should know they have to fill in their level ones, they have to mark it done, then VP education or the XCOM has to approve, and then so on and so forth. Progress is displayed and maintained. This is the least, I think, get the least marks as well. We don't know who's doing what. So should we have something like in the every meeting, put something on the poster like this is how many levels we have done? Do people know how they're progressing? The achievement is recognized with a ceremony. You're giving them formal certificates, ribbons, awards, all of that. If the club, district, or international people are in the meeting, are they getting recognized? The club members and achievement are publicized, not just in the club. If you are a corporate club, in the company, if you are a community club, on the social medias, and then DCP is used for planning. We know the club points that we get. Are people aware? Are the XCOM using that for planning and recognition? Especially, let's say we are just one speed or one level away from the DCP 10 Smedley. We just need one level 2. Are we looking at that? Is somebody closer to the level 2? Can they give just one speech and finish and we achieve that point? All of that should be done. Now you may ask what kind of different challenge and different options. If you go down this sheet, there are few pre-ups given also. Like what could be the challenge with the guest? Other guest, if guest has come once and not coming second time, the possible reasons could be they're not feeling welcome, they never asked to join and all of that. So these are the recommendation given. One may be applicable for all the clubs, one may not be applicable for your club. So pick up what makes sense for you from here. You have ready-made recommendations. Evaluations, the fourth part where people are feeling recognized. The speakers are hypersensitive. I have seen this in one of the club where somebody left the club and joined another club because that person felt the evaluations are given very critical. That person was not ready to take so critical feedback. So maybe we need to be honest, but at the same time, we need to use the language, a supportive environment. It should not be, just only criticism and no positive points are there. So there are recommendations here. If the challenge is around members' achievement, that these are the possible causes that can have. Members may not understand their responsibilities. They are not getting achievement because they don't know the point system you are using. So these are the recommendations that you can use to resolve those issues. Membership retention, because people are not engaged, they are getting negative attitude in the room. Maybe there is not good vibe in the room. So all of that could be there and possible causes will be there. So these are the frequently happening issues and challenges across the world. So you're not the only one. So look at the challenge, look at the possible causes, and then have the recommendation. Don't try to jump to the solution recommendation without understanding the root cause. So if somebody is giving 2, understand why you're giving 2. Then once you understand the root cause, you may, give the right recommendation also. Sometimes you may not have the recommendation because you don't know how things are done differently. So you ask the person who is conducting the session. You ask other groups to give the recommendation. Or if not happening in the same session, you make a note and you reach out to your club mentors, your area director, your division director to help them give the recommendation for the challenge you're trying to solve and you're not able to come up with the recommendation. With that, I know we're over time, little 1 minute because we started 10 minutes late, but I'll take a pause. Is there any question related to any of the parameters on how to conduct the MOT and why to conduct the MOT? Moments of truth.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No, only that last para, because generally most of the clubs don't have the website or the social media. When we discuss it, members said we don't have time to do that. They find it very difficult to do website or like the newsletter. So at times when we give them 1 or 2, the people feel offended. What is the way to go forward? Because you have to be factual. And if you're not doing it, we have to let the members know what we are not doing it and why we are not doing it. So once
Yes,
we give that particular 1 or 2, the people get offended. But my point is, if you are not doing it, you must tell them why we are not doing it. So how to tackle this
absolutely.
problem?
So 2 points. One, like I said, name tags, right? Not every club has the tradition of name tags. Maybe sometimes it's not required. So maybe we can strike off. This is something not applicable for our club for 1, 2, 3 reasons that you have to be clear. Like who will clear? Either the excom or senior member should clarify. Let's say I've given one and I'm presenting it and asking for the recommendation. I can raise my hand and say, Uday, I know you have given it 1 because we never had a newsletter, but there is 1, 2, 3 reason. Unless anybody in this group is ready to take responsibility to have a newsletter and start that, maybe take the responsibility doing it for at least 1 year so that people get motivated, we are okay to continue doing it. Otherwise, it's okay to give point, but maybe we don't want to take action on it, right? The other way of doing it, guys, we have one, right? And this is a way anybody can learn a good PR, how to make a newsletter. You can write a good articles, you can write good LinkedIn posts, you can learn to collaborate and present something more effectively to the executives. So this is the opportunity to learn how to write a good article or edit, or somebody wants to learn a technical writing. This is a good opportunity. So anybody who wants to learn, they can take this opportunity. But do we decide to have a regular newsletter? Maybe not. As a club, we can decide, okay, we have got 1 point, but we don't want to do anything about it. And that reminds me, sometime, let's say you have 3 or 2 or less than 3 in every section. Now you have 6 to 10 areas where you need to improve. Is it necessary to take action on all 10 areas? No. The point is to show improvement. And my personal experience has been as a coach also that if you try to focus on 10 things, nothing improves, right? Or it's not effective as we want to be. So maybe as a club, if you got 10 challenges or 10 actions to take, you as a club decide we want to pick three, top five, and put all the focus on those three to improve. So at least by next MOT, which will happen, moment of truth will happen 6 months, you are not getting low points in those 3 or 5 areas. And then you can focus on them. If the remaining 5 are still a challenge, you can focus on those the next time. So don't try to make action out of everything and you have to solve everything. Maybe not possible, but this is the way to reflect where we are, how we are doing, and what else we want to improve to make the experience better. I think the first impression and membership orientation are the must thing to keep on top, because that's what thrive your club automatically for the joining of the member as well as to retain the member. Everything else is supportive. Every parameter given is a reason, because we have section in our DCP also, right? There is education, there is a training part to it, there's admin part to it. Similarly, these 6 parameters are given for a reason, because if you don't have these parameters and if you want to brainstorm what our club is doing good and not doing good, you'll all have so many things to discuss. It will go in a way area which is you are not able to control the discussion. So this is a good way to have a controlled discussion to understand what our club is doing good and what we're not doing good. And as a club, you decide where you want to improve and put your focus. That's the idea.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Is there any other question, suggestion, or different point of view from anybody? Okay. If not, then thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, Rohan and Uday sir, for inviting me. It was a pleasure to talk here, and I hope clubs start doing this more often, and we can share this recording with those clubs who are not able to join today's session, so they understand the importance of it and continue to do regular moments of truth. I'm waiting for my club just to see how we are doing. I'm sure we have great team out there, but it's always good to see how our club is doing and take pride in that we are doing good. But at the same time, we all have the opportunity to improve in one or the other aspect. With that, thank you. Back to you, Rohan, if you're still there.
Rohan, are you there? Okay. Rohan is there. I'll take the opportunity to thank DTM Seema Rani for this wonderful session. We had received the request from the members because somewhere down the line they felt they were not understanding the moments of truth. What exactly you said, initially you said MOT. You said, what is this MOT? What is this MOT? We are talking in this. So I think for at least for the new member and in the clubs, we should start talking the moments of truth. And what I feel, we should be realistic. If what you rightly said, the other got 5 or 6 areas, you got less points. We should not get too much perturbed and we should move ahead. Like what instead of concentrating on 5 areas, so 2 areas. I think that's a very good learning. And I'm sure I will, whenever we have this moment of truth in our club, we will share this recording and tell them not to get too perturbed if you get 1 point or 2 points in difficult areas, because some things are beyond your control. You're not being able to do it. But as you said, section 1, the first 2 sections are very, very important. That first impression and membership is very, very important. And then second point, which was made by Rishikesh about the social having the bonding also. At times, we feel it is lacking because the members are not being able to devote that much of time. So that is one of the gray areas, though we want all of them to come. But effort has been said. The members who come for the meeting, they only come for the social event. They are not coming in for the rest of the members are not coming. So when we ask them, he said, your time is not suitable. So then he said, you take a poll from us, take a feedback from us. When are we available? Then we'll do it. So I think we got learned from this members. I think next time we try and amend it. So thank you very much, Seema, for a wonderful session. And it was pleasure having you with an experienced Toastmaster, and you handle the questions and you touch the core issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
On behalf
Thank
of
you,
them.
everyone.
Thank you very
Have a great day ahead. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Seema. Thank you so
You
much.
all.
Thank you, Rohan.
Thank you
If
all.
you can stop the recording.
Yes.
Thank you, Seema.
Thank you.